Hi friends, welcome and or welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley if this is your first time here, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I am just so happy about this little community that is being built here on YouTube. It just brings my heart so much joy. As you can see from the title of our video today, we are going to be talking about the books that I am hoping to read in the month of March. Now, I have been very particular about building a monthly TBR because my goal obviously is to try to read as many books from authors that are going to be at a Polycon this year. I'm so excited. We are getting very close to a Polycon time, and it's like if I have the books here, if I have them on my Kindle, I want to try to read them and get to them and just read as much as I can from these authors. I will put here a visual of how I have been doing my monthly TBRs on my phone and allowing myself to check them off, which is bringing me another level of joy in like the little type A Ashley that lives in my head sometimes. But without further ado, and making this intro much longer than it needs to be, let's hop right in to the books that I'm hoping to read this month. Full disclosure, a majority of these books that are on my list, I have no idea. At one point in time, I know I've read the synopsis, but these books have sat on my TBR for a bit, so I don't know. Most of these I'm just going in blind, so I may not even have much to say about anything. The first book that I have on my list is King of Battle and Blood, and from what I've been told, we have vampires, like sexy vampire romance. I'm also told that it's enemies to lovers. I don't know if that will hold true, but I'm excited because I've been wanting more like vampire fae reads, and I'm hoping that this will give it to me. So somebody I really trust, my friend Kathleen, has read this and said that she really enjoyed it. But you know, there have been people like on the interwebs that are like, I don't know about it. So we shall see. The next book on my list is Bewitched by Laura Thalassa. And excuse my Barnes and Noble sticker on here. While I don't know anything that is going on in this book, what I can say is that Laura Thalassa, I do have another book by her called Pestilence on my Kindle. And I know that is a very big series of her. It's the Four Horsemen series. And that her writing has gotten a lot of notoriety and like people like her. And I watch Becca in the Books here on YouTube, and she is a fan of Laura Thalassa. And so I'm pretty sure that I had just watched a video where she was talking about this author right before I went to Barnes and Noble. So I was influenced to pick up another book from this author, even though I hadn't read the first one that I had. But I am excited to get to it. I am hoping to read this, but I would really possibly like to read Pestilence before we go to a Polycon. And that might be something that I throw on my TBR for next month, but we shall see. The next book on my list is A Fate of Wrath and Flame, and I think this book was gifted to me. My friend Jenna had an extra copy from when she went to a Polycon last year, and she sent this to me. I don't know. So with that being said, I have no idea what's going on between the pages of this book. I'm excited to get to this. I am very fearful that all of the fantasy that I have been reading in prep for the Romantasy conference is going to slingshot me into either a reading slump or I'm going to have to read like romance for the next 6 months to recover. But I, again, am excited to get to this book. And then the last physical read that I have on hand is Belladonna by Adeline Grace. And this is my Fairy Loot edition that I've had for about 2 years now. This is actually the first book of March that I plan to get into. My bookmark's already in here. And they voted on my Instagram that they wanted me to read this book first, or this is the book that won the poll on my Instagram for me to read first. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm actually very excited. I've heard really good things about this book. Could not tell you what is going on. I'm going in blind, as in most of these books, but I am excited to get to it and to see if it lives up to the hype. I was actually talking to my friend Kathleen yesterday, and I'm like, if I love this book, I'm going to be forced to find another Fairy Loot edition so that my sets match. And when I looked on Mercari, they're going for like $80 a pop. So love that for me. The next books I'm going to talk about are books that I plan to read on my Kindle. And the first book up that I actually own on my Kindle is Legends and Lattes by Travis Bauder. I believe that's pronounced correctly. If you are living under a rock, you probably have not heard of this book. But I believe it was last year this book like swept the Bookstagram world and everybody and their mama was reading it. I saw it on plenty of like best of videos, and I knew I wanted to read it. I just didn't know when I was going to get to it. I have a little bit of an idea. I believe this is about an ex-mercenary who has decided to open up a coffee shop, and that's about as far as as much as I know about this, but I am excited. It's super short, and it will probably be the first book that I read on my Kindle this month, just because of the length. So yeah, I'm excited to get to this one as well. The next one that I actually physically own on my Kindle is Witches Get Stitches by Juliet Cross, and that is book 3 in the Stay a Spell series. And I have talked about this series in a previous video. I absolutely adore what Juliet Cross is doing with this series. It follows a family of witches. From what I have noticed from the first two, I feel like they're going to get better with each one. I think the last one is probably like I've heard the most about. I am really excited to get into this one because this sister is the one that I probably like the most that I have seen in other books. And actually the male main character, I really liked him too in the other 2 books that he showed up in. So I am very excited. This is probably my most anticipated couple to read about outside of the oldest sister, who is like kind of over the witch coven, but it's a cute little rom-com-y feel. And yeah, I cannot wait to get into this. So one of the next books that I plan to read on my Kindle is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. This author has taken over the book community and like everybody is losing their minds over it. I first started seeing like the Daughters of No Worlds or whatever, the one like the red cover book. That's the one that I saw the most, but I think this one is like more on the romantic fantasy side. It is available on KU, so I plan to read it there. And I'm just excited to give this author a shot. I have no idea what this book is about. But I feel like more people, from what I have seen, have liked this series a little more than the other one. I could be completely wrong, but I am excited to get into another romantic-y era feel. The last book that I plan to read on my Kindle, I'm saying that this is one book, okay? But I fully recognize that these are 2 different books. I am going to be doing the tandem read of A Touch of Darkness and A Game of Fate by Scarlett St. Clair. Blame my bestie, Jenna. This is a Persephone and Hades retelling, I'm pretty sure, and I think that is all I know about it. I already have the chapter breakdown of the tandem read, and I'll be honest, the reason why I never really gravitated toward this series is because I don't like book series where like one book is told in one POV and another book is told in another POV, but they are both happening in the same timeline, like these that put them in one book. So the fact that we have like this tandem read where it bounces back and forth, that makes it a little more tolerable for me. And so I am excited now to read this. And I'm counting this as one book because together it's only like 704 pages, and Crescent City, House of Sky, Breath, or House of Flame and Shadow. Honestly, every single one of those Crescent City books are bigger than this. And I feel like it'll take me no time to get through them. So while I'm counting it as one book, it obviously is going to be two. But I am now excited because the only other Hades and Persephone retelling that I've read was Neon Gods, and I absolutely loved it. So hopefully this is given the same, if not more, than what that gave. And I just had the time of my life in that book. Okay, and then lastly, I'm gonna go over the books that I plan to listen to in the month of March. Both of these my library has, and one of them I already have the hold for. And that book is Not the Witch You Wed by April Asher. What I'm hoping is a human man has married a witch and he did not know it, and he finds out. That's what I'm hoping for myself, that what this book is about. But I don't know, and we shall find out. And then the last book that I plan to read audibly from my library is Broken Bonds by Jay Bree. I do absolutely adore these covers. I think the covers are brilliant. So this may be one that I read and want to own physically eventually when this bookbind ban releases its chokehold on me. But yeah, I'm very excited to get to that book. I heard it's super spicy too. I think that's like the only super spicy book that I actually have on my list for the month of March. So I'll probably be due for it after all this fantasy that's going on over here. And that is all the books that I am hoping to read in the month of March. You will have to stick around on my channel to find out if I make it through all of these before the end of the month. With that being said, make sure you like and subscribe and share if you are enjoying the content that I am providing here. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, leave me a bird emoji for the cover of Belladonna, and this is the book that I plan to start reading as soon as I turn this camera off. And I will see you all in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.